Hey, Twin Cities. Welcome to the Connect Show. Of course, I'm here with my business besties, Michaela Club, Lasha Raditz, and Allie Nanny. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Yes. Well, we had good conversation last week. I'm so excited to be back. It's the second week of Black History Month. And if you missed last week's episode with Sina Hodges and Christina Holder, who has the largest club in the clubhouse, right? Because it's all about the clubhouse, we're learning. Make sure you check that out. You can binge watch us Netflix style at our YouTube, Natalie's Network.
So if you caught our episode from last week, then we learned a lot. We really talked about some important, heavy topics. And so, I want to check in with everybody. Like, how you feeling? What are you doing nowadays in this week to incorporate some self-care?
So I just decided, okay, I'm going to drink the amount of water that I'm supposed to drink. It's a small win with a large impact. So I did that.
Yes.
That always makes such a good impact on me too, Michaela. I am learning to say no to some things. I think I have a problem saying yes to everything. I don't want to miss out. FOMO, right? So I've been saying no and saying yes to more self-care.
And I've just been staying in the house. I've been really just trying to, it's part of that saying no piece, but it's a part of like hiring for help to do the things that I can't do all by myself. So I did spend a lot of time. It's freaking cold here in Minnesota over the weekend, -15, I believe, yesterday. So I just tried to stay in. I caught a new movie that everybody's raving about. So just taking some time to enjoy the quiet moments,
So it's important to remind yourself to just calm down and take care of yourself sometimes. So when was the last time you guys felt just like the best and healthy and you just felt like you had control over life?
I will say I felt most healthy when I was pregnant. Every time I'm pregnant, I feel super healthy because you go to the doctor every 5 minutes. Every month you're at the doctor. She's taking your blood. She's looking at this. She's checking out that. And she's like, you're great. And that's a great feeling, and my twins are 3 years old now. It's like time for me to go back to have my annual exam. And, the dentist, like all of those things that I think COVID's gotten in the way of. But yeah, the doctor and pregnancy keeps you feeling like you know what's going on.
Yeah.
I love that mindset, Natalie, too, because pregnancy is often something that we see as such like a struggle or it's so hard. So to hear you say that's when you felt your healthiest, I feel like that's a topic we should definitely dive into. But I love that. And for me, honestly, just recently I walked a mile, nothing big. I walked a mile, I drank my water, but I was like, yes, I feel like I conquered, a big checklist item. So that's what I did over the week.
That's awesome.
Valentine's Day is just around the corner. So if you are single or if you've been married for 30 years, you need to come on back because we are going to make it fun as we sit down with Carmelia Ray. She's a matchmaker and she's going to be talking several things when it comes to dating, especially online. But she's also going to share the do's and the don'ts on that next date. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Marketing for local businesses is critical, but it can be pretty confusing. At Vivial, we work with you to understand your business and individual marketing needs to tailor a custom-designed solution so you can focus on what you do best, running your business.
Want to learn more about Vivial's digital marketing services? Find us online at vivial.net/Natalie.
Are you ready to transform your body in just 30 minutes a day from your living room? I'm Tracy Campoli, the creator of Total Body Transformation, the excuse-proof fitness program made for busy babes like you and me to get fit, sweat, and smile. We've been featured on Good Morning America, The Today Show, and in USA Today. All you have to do is simply log in and press play. No boredom, no stress, and no dread. All in just 30 short minutes from the comfort of your own home. Go to TracyCampoli.com to get started today.
And welcome back to the Connect Show, Twin Cities. So our next guest, she's the real deal. Okay, she's a matchmaker for more than 28 years. So if you're at home and you're single, get up, it's early. Okay, let's get focused. She's an online dating expert, a podcast host, author, media contributor, and a mom and a wife. So The list goes on, but she has helped more than 7,000 clients and will be helping us today as we talk about love, stepping into Valentine's Day. So Carmelia, good morning.
Hi. Good morning, everyone.
So beautiful. So this is going to be good. I'm excited.
Your track record and body of work speaks for itself. Please tell us more about how you became a matchmaker.
Man, I wish it was a more interesting story, but I'm going to date myself here. In 1992, one of my high school sweetheart said, "Hey, Carmelia, you should apply to work at this company. They're looking for people in their call center." So I was a telemarketer. I started my first job as a telemarketer for a company called Together Dating. And what I had to do was, back then, people filled out applications in the mail, like snail mail.
Wow.
And and it was through Canada Post. And it was a 174 franchise. So they also had it in the States. And when they completed the application, the phone room would call them on the phone and talk about matchmaking. So I booked appointments for people every week to learn about dating and how they can find a life partner. And this is when people used to meet in bars, clubs, work, church. Like, that was traditional. And now, fast forward, nobody meets at bars and clubs and church. Nobody meets anywhere but on a computer screen or swiping on a dating app. So it's been a long time. After I started working in the call center, I quickly realized I loved the business. I loved helping people, and I never looked back. So that part-time job became my full-time career.
Can you tell us more about like the dating, your dating coach aspect of the business?
Yeah, I mean, the dating coaching really goes hand in hand with matchmaking. And frankly, I have my own love coaches that work with me. I collaborate with a lot of coaches. If I feel that a client, maybe sabotaging their relationship because of bad habits or, old ways of thinking, or they're nervous, depending on their attachment style, I definitely do. I'm not afraid to make recommendations or to talk to them about what's working and what's not working. As a matchmaker, we pre-prep the date. So both people have a little bit of an idea what each person is like. And we coach them on, hey, here's conversation that you should have. Here's stuff you want to avoid. And then finally, both give a post-date survey. So the beauty of working with a matchmaker is I get two sides. And ladies, let me tell you, sometimes those sides are completely aligned. And other times I'm like, were they at the same date? Like, really, were they at the same date?
Right.
Because they're so different. I had an amazing time. We had such a connection. And he's like, I never want to see her again. And that can happen on both sides, right? Like, the guy's thinking he's like, did a great job. And she's like, and there's just, it's interesting the experiences that happen on dates. The beauty about that is now I can coach them on that feedback, right? So that's why coaching is so important. We don't know the things that we're doing on dates that are stopping us from finding love, or that maybe we're showing up as, needy or anxious. And a lot of that has to do with our past relationships, how we were brought up, and also the risk or that kind of like fear of missing out. If this person doesn't like me, it feels as if you don't have that chance again. So people on first dates are very nervous.
In our research, we kind of figured out from the reviews that people love your never settle dating.
Oh yes, never settling.
Never settle. And I feel I'm a big proponent of that too, proponent of, never settling. So just wanted to know, like, what are those trigger signs that you are settling in a relationship?
When you say that you're settling, I mean, people will say, I'm just going to settle because there's nobody out there.
No.
Or it's like, yeah, I like him, but I mean, he seems okay. Or you'll just hear it. They're not.
He'll work. He has a job.
Yes.
He takes care of his son.
Lots of potential.
Yeah, lots of potential. Yeah, they're dating their potential, or they're literally just coming from a place of scarcity, and they're not thinking like they get to choose. A lot of times people feel like that's the option. That's what they can get right now. Times are tough. And that's why we have things that are seasonally, like in the wintertime, it's cuffing season, right?
Yes.
And I think I created a new context for COVID. People are COVIDCuffing. They're just shacking up with people because they don't want to be isolated alone. And ladies, we are in peak breakup season. I don't know if you know that, but breakup season happens from about Thanksgiving all the way up to Valentine's Day. So people are going to be breaking up on Valentine's Day and even shortly thereafter, because they're like, I don't want to be that. I don't want him as my Valentine, or I don't want her as my Valentine. Sometimes in those holidays, it really highlights, forces you to look at your relationship and say, yeah, I don't really want to celebrate with this person. And a telltale sign is, I don't want to introduce this person to my family. And that's why people tend to break up, is they don't want to take them to Thanksgiving dinner. They don't want to spend money on a gift. They'd rather
stay
just
in the house. Stay in the house. Stay right there. Carmelia, I love it. We are going to take a quick break, but first you are going to hear from our legal eagle, Christine Schwartz, as she continues the conversation when it comes to divorce. We'll be right back.
Hey, girlfriends, it's Natalie, and I wanted to take a moment to personally invite you to the Connect Network's February Mastermind with celebrity publicist Keita Williams. She's sharing how you can become the architect behind your brand, plus PR tips used by the stars. Connect members are free. VIP guests, just $49. Register at theconnectonline.com.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. Yes, today we're talking about love. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day, so it's a very popular topic. But for some of us, Valentine's Day is just another day. So let's first talk about that. If you're one of these business owners that are unfortunately considering divorce, let me provide you some important information. It's important to note the difference between separate property versus community property and how that would affect your business. One of the most important things to look at is whether the business was started before or after the marriage. If the business was formed before the start of the marriage by one of the spouses, it will typically remain solely owned by that spouse. If it was formed during the marriage, it will usually be considered a community asset. Now, yes, there are some exceptions to this rule. Small companies or businesses with little revenue or very little equipment, this probably won't be a big issue, and dealing through it with a divorce will probably not be a problem. Now, if a spouse owns a sole proprietorship with minimal tools, minimal assets of value, then the business entity in itself, the accounts, almost always go to that one spouse who owns it, because the other spouse has very little value in it. Now, a very important topic I want to address with you is to consider how you operate your business with your spouse. As soon as you involve your spouse in your business, that business will probably be considered community property. If they helped you run the business, if they helped you maintain it, if they went to events with you, if they went shopping with you, all of that involvement can make this, what could be considered a separate property business, a community property. Now, there are ways to protect yourself for the future should your business be one that's going to be in a divorce. For example, you could get a prenup. You could also get a postnup. Now, postnup is very similar to a prenup. It's just done after you are married. Keep your personal and business expenses separate, so the business will remain your separate property. There are other specific business concerns that many people will have, such as, are there additional owners in the business? Is there a buy-sell agreement in your business? How is the business structured? Is it an LLC? These are all concerns that you would want to address with some legal help. Now, many people consider their business their baby. They're one of the most important parts of their life, and I get it. So as soon as you see yourself in a situation that you'll be dealing with a divorce and you have a business, please make sure you go and get some legal help. Make sure that you seek someone that you trust, like always, and remember that we are here for you at Navarrete & Schwartz.
Well, welcome back to the show. Carmelia Ray is with us today. Valentine's Day is tomorrow, and we're talking about a lot of things. First off, it's love, right? You're a matchmaker, but you brought in a new term that I think is new to everyone, particularly me, and it's called COVIDCuffing.
So I feel like you're a lady of my own, a serial entrepreneur. What did you learn and bring with you from your previous businesses into your services today?
Wow. That's a great question. I'm a collaborator, so I really enjoy working with other entrepreneurs. During the pandemic, I literally launched a digital matchmaking academy with my business partner, Hunt Etheridge. He's an award-winning dating coach. I also launched a live stream production studio in Toronto, which was supposed to open February 1st. I launched that with 2 other business partners because video is the way to go. And a lot of entrepreneurs have a message to share. And also, I mean, I'm a brand ambassador for a lot of various, companies, whether it's beauty, pharmaceutical, healthcare. I'm doing a partnership with a wine company, a beer company. Like, I started a not-for-profit in December. Like, all of this happened during the pandemic because all I have is kind of time on my hands.
Mm-hmm.
Used to travel a lot and my clients are home. So all of these things also help to, elevate my brand, which will bring more of an audience who are single. And of course, Clubhouse. Like, I have been on this new thing called Clubhouse, which is how I met everyone here, right? So that's literally how I basically came on the show, is that Clubhouse has been a great platform for me to like meet other serial entrepreneurs and other women like yourself.
Clubhouse is where it's at, and it sounds like you are making the most out of this pandemic. Being that you are the expert, Carmelia, we kind of want to get your insight. So I'm going to give you a first date scenario, and you tell us if that's what we should be doing or what we shouldn't be doing, okay?
All right. And Natalie can play too, right? Even though she's married, she can play,
yes,
right?
I'm going to play. I'm all in. I'm all in.
Okay,
yes.
Great.
So the first one being, do you check the person's social media presence before going on the date?
Now, as a matchmaker, I don't want them to, but in reality, they absolutely do. Because there's pros and cons to checking social media. It's very difficult to put a match together to begin with without all the attachment of who is the ex and what car do they drive and what kind of person are they. Because not everybody knows that you're looking at their social media to determine if they're a great match. And sometimes they're not trained to like look that someone's going to be looking at their profile. So do real people do that? Absolutely. If you're being matched by a matchmaker, I would say trust the matchmaker. Don't worry about the social media. It's just like a friend. You don't want to like put too many preconceived notions about what this person is like. The best way to get to know a person is to meet them in person. Spending your time looking at two-dimensional pictures and videos isn't going to give you the experience of who they are as a romantic partner. So many times you're just getting to see what they want you to see. You're not really seeing or experiencing who they really are. And that's why looking at social media to me is a bit of a, I'm 50-50. If you have a match by a matchmaker, don't look. If you don't have a matchmaker, look away.
I love it. That's good. Okay, so what about, you're on this first date, right? What about a goodnight kiss? What are your thoughts on kissing on the first date?
Well, not right now. I would say no.
True.
100%. I would say like still avoid any kind of physical intimacy of any kind when you're on high alert. And people are going to do it. And I think it's just a responsible thing to ask those questions. If you're single and he's single and you have no dependence and you guys are just responsible to each other and you really want to have that kiss, you go ahead and do you. But for most people, they share spaces, they're out with other people, they haven't done the test. I would avoid it right now.
That's good. Okay, what about telling your date kind of exactly what you're looking for in a partner? So giving them the rundown of all of like your list of things,
First of all, that should have been established before you went on the date. And the date is not to determine if you're compatible, because you wouldn't have gone on that date if you didn't think you were compatible. So the first date is really just fun and light and talking about hobbies and interests and what are you going to do tomorrow and when are we going to meet up again? It's just measuring that chemistry. It is not the place to put your deal breakers and your wants. Like, it's not an interview. It's really a song and dance to get to know each other. So absolutely not. I wouldn't run those things by, except, again, if you agreed to go on a date and not know that this person already fit your criteria and you want to use that opportunity, fine. Oh, geez, I forgot if he wants to have kids. That's pretty important, right? Or let's say you see something that maybe they have a skin condition or something that you didn't realize, or they said they were 5'9", but they're clearly 5'7", and you want to be like, hey, about the height thing or whatever that is, right? Yes, use that opportunity to verify what you already know. It is not to inject new questions and ask them if they want to get their life plan in the next 3 to 5 years. No.
Okay, I love it. And so I think I may know your answer to this next question, but talking about finances on the first date.
Again, I think that if you're on that date, my assumption as a matchmaker, and if you value your time, is that you have some idea about that. And you only ever want to, verify things if and when it's unclear. But definitely you don't want to be talking about finance at that date. You might want to talk about, hey, where did you go on your last vacation? Oh, what part of town do you live in? Oh, that's amazing. What's your idea of a great getaway? Oh, let's go camping in the woods. That's one thing versus, oh, we want to go to the Soho House and let's go on the rooftop and grab some drinks at happy hour. Very different context. So there's ways that you can ask without, being blatant about it. So what's your annual income and when did you do your taxes? Yeah, definitely approach it with some delicacy.
Oh, those are good gems.
We could spend all day chatting with you, Carmelia. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And what do you have coming up and where can people find you on social media?
Great question. Okay, so what I have coming up, if you are on Clubhouse, every Saturday I run a singles event with Brittany Michalchuk. It is called Single and Ready to Mingle. It happens 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. EST on Clubhouse. If you're single and want to be part of my network and looking to be matched, I don't know if I'll match you before Valentine's Day, but you can at least put yourself in the database. You can click on my Instagram bio and there's a link that says Clubhouse Casting. It also goes into my singles network. There's a matchmaking school if you want to learn how to become a matchmaker and have a career putting people together. But everything else, you can find me on Instagram, on social media, and my website, CarmeliaRay.com. Pretty easy to find me.
Yes. Saturdays are all about success here on the Connect Network Twin Cities. As you guys all know, being your best self in life and in business go hand in hand. Don't turn that channel. We'll be right back.
As you settle into Valentine's Day weekend, check out this behind-the-scenes sneak peek with MasterP. You know he's moved to the Twin Cities. He gave us an exclusive interview to talk about his no-limit mindset and his new film, Never and Again.
I want to start with talking about this no-limit mentality and mindset that you have.
Well, you have to know your value. And when you talk about no limit, the mindset is about thinking outside the box, being able to see not only the mustard seed, but being able to see the tree. You got to be able to see the tree. And it's just a blessing. God has blessed me. I want to continue blessing others. I say when you do right, blessings will come. To be able to have my boys in the Twin Cities, Hersey and Mercy, they both start at Mini High Academy. They're doing great. One getting prepared for next year for college, the other one is a freshman. So to have the Miller gang starting and playing, but also being A students. My thing is having them being A students and preparing the next generation. So my no limit mentality is just about passing it to the next generation.
That's right. So let's get into this P. Miller Enterprises, because we are now seeing you bossing in real estate, fashion, television, restaurants. We're going to get into the film and talk about this new release, Never and Again. The cast is cold-blooded. You got a lot of my favorites in there, by the way. Tell our viewers what they can expect.
Well, this is a love romantic fake type of movie. When you talk about Never and Again, is you think you're never gonna do something, you're never gonna go back to that old love or person that you had, but life bring you on this roller coaster ride, and you can't change the past, but you can change the future, and you can better yourself. And I think you learn a lot from your mistakes, and that's what this movie about. It's a romantic comedy, but it feels like a fake because in love and triumph you deal with all these different emotions. So I just think I want people to see this. Me and my son Romeo, we executive produced this project, and this is amazing. It's incredible. It's owned by us, created by us.
There's your sneak peek
of MasterP Percy's new film, Never and Again.
Stop Checking Your Likes is the hottest must-read of the moment. This is not a book about social media. It's about shaking off that need for approval and living your incredible life. It's available everywhere books are sold.
So what did you all enjoy most as far as the commercials during Super Bowl? Did you feel like it was the same as years before?
I always look forward to the ads because they're funny. So I was really tuning in just for those. And my favorite was the Amazon Alexa, Michael B. Jordan. I need to know where I can pick that up. I kind of forgot about the other ones, but
that was my favorite too. I didn't even see the Cardi B commercial. I don't know. Maybe I was eating. I was by the food. That's what Super Bowl is for me. It's all about the commercials and the food. But I don't even know the Cardi B, but Michael B. Jordan would be my vote for sure.
What were you eating, Lasha? What was your Super Bowl food?
Oh, we had pizza. We had wings that we did in our air fryer for the first time. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. It wasn't a good eating day. I wasn't proud. But
did you all know that the average American consumes 8,000 calories at Super Bowl parties?
Easily. Easily.
So crazy.
I believe
Allie,
it.
what about you? Did you have a favorite ad?
To be honest, my favorite, and I sound like a baby, but there was this commercial about this swimmer. Did you guys see that?
I saw it.
Me and my husband were crying. Oh my gosh. So like the mom gets a call and she's like, we found someone for you to adopt, or whatever the words were. I'm not good at rephrasing, but she has a disorder or something along the lines where she had to get her legs amputated. And the parents still decided to move forward, and she's like, it may not be the best, but we'll give her the best life. And it just was like, I think she became a professional swimmer, and I was just like, oh, we being psychopath.
That was a beautiful commercial. We catch that one. It was beautiful. The message is so amazing.
Yeah.
And I'll also add, that's a good that you brought up that touching, feeling that you had from the ad, because I remember getting emotional about just all of the parents, like Tom Brady's parents were talking about Tommy, which Tom Brady, okay, he's just the GOAT. Let's just put it out there as a fact.
Yeah.
And then, Patrick Mahomes' mom was like, that's just Patrick. I just really felt touched by that, seeing all the family members and all the love and all of the years, moms at home taking your kids to all these sports. Good grief. But super special. I love it.
Paid off.
Right, exactly. All right, y'all. Another great show.
If you've got some girl boss magic our viewers can be inspired by, be a guest on the show, email us at contact@theconnectonline.com and we'll get you registered.
Yes, and don't forget to join our membership as well, also at theconnectonline.com, and we will see you next Saturday. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Marketing for local businesses is critical, but it can be pretty confusing. At Vivial, we work with you to understand your business and individual marketing needs to tailor a custom designed solution so you can focus on what you do best, running your business.
Want to learn more about Vivial's digital marketing services? Find us online at vivial.net/Natalie.